Hello everybody, it's Dr. Rick dropping in on you. Not gonna be long. Look, you've heard me say this a million times. If you don't have at least two independent streams of income through which you hedge your primary source of income to protect you against catastrophic loss in that area, you are missing an opportunity to ensure your long-term financial security. I have created the 7-day online business launch course, which is a formula I use to reestablish myself online. It works over and over again. I've used it over and over again. Now I'm challenging you to take advantage of it. Click the link, learn more about it, enroll, and let's get started. Well, hello, everybody. It's Dr. Rick. I took a day off yesterday, so we didn't get Money Monday, but I promise we're going to double up tomorrow on Wealth Building Wednesday. Had some things going on that I need to get squared away. Got some things going on today, a lot to be covered. So I won't be with you long today, but as you saw in the intro, look, if you don't have at least two streams of income that you're hedging your primary source of income with, online revenue is where you want to go. And there's so many new tools, so many different pathways, so many different opportunities, and they're actually broadening. Let me show you how you can learn how to put up your own presence online within 7 days and start generating revenue. This is not a get rich quick scheme. This is not plug and play. This is work, but I promise you it does work. Also, there's a couple opportunities to work with me. And finally, there's a link in there that you can enroll in the Legacy Wealth Academy's first online course, which is the Path to Generational Wealth, one of the most comprehensive curriculums that I've discovered on wealth building. Everything you want to know from the big heavy hitters. This isn't Rick's knowledge. This is the guys that play the game at the level. A lot has changed over the course of building this course because I got to engage these people, and it's amazing. Anyway, you can also sign up for that. Let's talk. Today is Transformational Tuesday. Transforming, changing, becoming. When you live your life the way you're supposed to live your life, it's about evolution. It's about evolving into something better. It's about becoming something better. It's about understanding that you've never arrived. One of the things that I think that has been a major catalyst in my ability to achieve things is I never look at myself as having arrived. I never look at myself as the Mr. Know-it-all. No matter how many books I've written, no matter how many books I've read, or how many courses I've taken, or how many courses I've created, I never look at myself and say, you're that dude. I look at myself and say, man, you've handled your business, but you're not done yet. There's so much you don't know. Find the people who know it and move into their space. And now what happens when you do that is you pull yourself out of your comfort zone. You go from being that person that everybody comes to about something to being that person in a room full of people that know more than you about something. And that's something my great-grandfather taught me. He had a second grade education, but one of the wisest men I've ever had the pleasure of being around. And he told me, he said, never be the smartest person in the room. The moment you start placing yourself in a position of where you are always the smartest person in the room, you stop growing. Find people who know things you don't know. Find people who have done things you haven't done. Immerse yourself in becoming a better person. And that's something that I do. But let me tell you something. If you're going to talk about transformation, if you're going to talk about evolution, change is happening. Everyday change is happening. And if you look at your life, you look at your life 10 years ago, there may be some things that are similar. There may be some things that you wish would have changed more dramatically. And so you don't see the change the way you would like to see it. But if you look at yourself, you're not the same person as you were 10 years ago. Now, that could be a good thing and that could be a bad thing. But what you have to understand is, regardless to where you are now, regardless to where you were then, you have the capacity to change who you are. You have a capacity to be very determinate in how you are going to turn out. It doesn't mean you control every external force that's moving in your life. You don't control the people you're going to lose because you're changing. You don't control the people who are you're going to lose because they pass away. You don't control the people who are going to betray you. You don't control the people who will simply dislike you because you're you. You don't control any of that. You don't control a lot of the things that are external, but what you do control is your response. The response is what matters in this thing. The response is what's going to determine how you outcome. You're not going to dictate your circumstances, your situations, but you do control how you respond to them, how you perceive them, how you view them. What you're going to do about them is all up to you. So you've got to do that. So where does it start? It starts in the mind. It's always been a battle for your mind. It's always been. And if you're not careful, if you don't understand how things work, what you will end up doing is living a life where someone else was the primary factor of dictating your process of thought. Oh, this isn't some conspiracy theory. This is someone who operates in the world of human behavior and also operates in the world of media. And I can tell you that every commercial, every article, everything is written to produce a certain mental or emotional response. And people have put tons and tons and tons of hours into understanding what triggers people to buy, what triggers people to become more cautious about buying, what triggers people to become more quote unquote patriotic. All of these things are meant to control the masses. The thing is, it's always been a battle for the mind. There's always been a large influx of information that's meant to make you think a certain way. The thing is, there are some people in this world that need you to think at a level that does not produce the best version of you, because they need to be able to exploit a lesser version of you that isn't confident enough in yourself to make bold moves. And so what happens is you move through your life with doing what you think is playing it safe, but what you are doing is relegating yourself to a space of being average. Think about it. We live in a world where the first, what, 18 years of your life, well, especially school years. So 12 years of your first 18 years, you are 17 years, 18 years, however, depending on when you graduate. You are in an environment where average is not only acceptable, it is considered successful. When you enter the school, you could actually be below average and do what? Pass. Pass means you successfully completed your grade and you're going to the next grade with a D average. So sub-average accomplishment produces a successful result, but this only happens in school. Because you're going to find out that the moment that you try to go from high school to college with a D average, there are not going to be very many schools. There might be a community college that'll take you and let you test in or whatever, but you're not going to get any acceptance letters from the schools that are doing it. And I'm not pushing college as the way to go. I'm making a point. Definitely, once you get to college, you can get through college, and if you get D's, nobody's going to hire you when your transcript has 70s and 72s on it. So you go through life being conditioned that you can be average and win, and all of a sudden you get to real life, and only the top 1 to 4% are actually getting it, and getting it in high abundance. And you're looking around you and everybody else is kind of fitting in kind of the same way where they fit in school. You got the A's, and then you got the high level A's. They're getting on. The A's are getting on. The high level B's are doing pretty good. The low level B's are hanging in there. The C's, oh, there we go. So that average that everybody thinks, well, I'm average. No, you don't want to be average, but you got to get your mind out of the idea that average is successful. That's a battle for the mind. So what you've got to actually start doing is challenging yourself to be your best self. Now, here's the problem with another problem with the educational system is the universal idea of what is. Everybody's on the standardized learning process. Nobody is being schooled in public school based on their gift. Nobody is being schooled based on their purpose. You have a uniqueness about yourself that lays the path for your success. You're probably average. If you were average or below average, you were probably average because that's not your vein. Mathematics may never be something that you excel at. Writing may not be something you excel at, but you may excel at graphic design. You may excel at artistic design. You may excel at creative innovation. In other words, bringing something out of nothing. That's where we fail at. But you got to learn to look inside of yourself and see this beautiful thing inside of you called your gift. The book of Proverbs says that your gift will make room for you and bring you before great men. What does it mean? It means that your gift is the thing that creates the capacity. It expands the space in which you have influence, and then it brings you before great men. That's another way of saying that the people who have the capacity to open the doors that are shut before you, your gift will put you in front of them. They will acknowledge your gift. They will see the potential in you, and they will open up the path. Nobody is self-made. So when I hear people talking about self-made millionaire, self-made business mogul, no, that was somebody that whispered in your ear. That was somebody that made a phone call. That was somebody that encouraged you when you were being discouraged. So what it is you need to first and foremost change your thinking. How do I see myself? How do I see myself in this world? Because how you see yourself in the world is going to determine how hard you go on something. If you see yourself as a victim, if you see yourself as a person that life is happening to and not someone that life is responding to, you're going to tend to take a defeatist approach when things start to become difficult. You're going to start saying, oh, whoa, it's me. Why is this happening to me? Instead of saying, what can I do about it? I'm never trapped in a situation. I'm never stuck in a situation. Now, I may be tough. You may be going through some difficult moments, but never consider yourself stuck. Understand that life is a journey and you're walking on a path towards your destiny. And the only thing that can stop you from reaching your destiny is you. By the very definition of the word destiny, it's speaking of a destination. And by the very definition, the only thing anything that attempts to stop you from achieving your destiny, arriving at your destination, only ensures that it happens. Every obstacle is an assurance that you're heading in the right direction. Every challenge is an assurance that you're headed in the right direction. All you've got to do is maintain an idea that I cannot be stopped. I cannot be broken. I will not be turned back. I am moving forward. The problem is we've been trained to have a very short-sighted view of life, So what happens is when we run into a difficult moment, we give it a little bit of time. If it doesn't work, we retreat. When we run into something we say we really want and it doesn't work immediately, we throw it down. Must not be God's will for me. We don't have the longevity and the endurance and the perseverance and the push inside of us to break through those barriers. See, it's on the other side of that barrier that you're facing that you're going to find the thing that you desire, but too many are quitting. And then you're settling back into what? Average. Another thing that you're going to have to stop doing is trying to find the cheap path to greatness. It does not exist, people. There's no cheap path to greatness. The path that I have traveled to achieve the things I have achieved in business, in publishing, in academics, in public influence, in my professional career, came through a lot of painful discovery, setbacks and failures, being ridiculed and laughed at, being told I couldn't do it, delay, disappointment, frustration, but an unyielding force inside of me that says, keep going. Don't you dare quit. Don't you dare give up. Don't you dare turn around. Hebrews chapter 10 start to come in. The end part says that my soul finds no pleasure in those who draw back to perdition. It says right before it says, though it tarry, though it takes a while, wait for it. Though it takes a while, wait for it. But whatever you do, don't draw back, because my soul finds no pleasure in those who draw back to perdition, utter destruction. But then it goes on and says, but we are not of those who draw back We are those who continue on until the saving of the soul. We are those who continue on until the job is done. We are those who continue on until we complete the mission. We don't quit. I shared this the other day, and if you've watched me, if you followed me, you've heard me say this, I don't know how many times. It's not how smart I am. It's not who I know. It's not my knowledge about any particular thing. It's not the degrees. It's not any of that. What it is I'm relentless. My one word, if I had to define what makes me who I am, I'm relentless. I don't know how to quit. I've taken some major beatings financially, in business, in academics, emotionally, relationally. I've taken some major hits. I just keep coming. You heard me say this, and it's not just some cliche-ish thing I say. It's literally the creed by which I live my life. I say, if you're still breathing, you're still in the fight. I told God a long time ago when I was going through one of the most difficult times of my life, I said, just wake me up. That was the only thing I asked, because I understood that God had planted inside me in my gift, prepared me through my experiences to go through the very thing I was going through, that I really didn't have to ask for. I just don't let me die until I come out of this. If you wake me up every morning, I'll answer the bell. Now, it's been some difficult moments. It's some times that I didn't want to get up. It's some times that I felt like everything around me was crumbling. It was some times that I felt like I didn't have anybody else on my side but me. It was some times that I felt like if one more thing happens, I don't know what I'm going to do. But I woke up and I answered the bell. At any moment, I could have quit. And some of the things that you're seeing, some of the books you're reading, some of the videos that have inspired and encouraged you, some of the lectures that you've attended, all of these things, the courses, all these things wouldn't be there. The people that I work with on a one-to-one basis would not have experienced what they experienced in working with me if I would have gave up. If I would have retreated. Challenge yourself to see the best version of you. Challenge yourself to seek out the things that will expand you. Challenge yourself to grow and become something greater than anyone has ever expected, even yourself. You're going to be surprised at what you are capable of doing once you start believing in your design, once you start trusting the designer. Look, I'm about to get out of here because I got to prepare for another event. But I just wanted to stop in. I didn't want to miss 2 days in a row. Look, you determine what you become, not what you were born into, not what you had to go through, not the poor decisions you make. Yes, those decisions you've made have consequences, but you get to make new decisions that can buffer some of the consequences, that can deliver you from some of the situations you're in. You get to choose every day what you're going to be today and what you're going to strive to be tomorrow. You can change the trajectory of your life no matter where you are right now, but you're going to have to make up in your mind that you're going to do it. You're going to have to make up in your mind that nothing's going to stop you. You're going to have to make up in your mind that you're going to seek out the people who will inspire you, encourage you. It's up to you. On that note, I'm going to get ready to get out of here. As I always say, I live my life on full so that when I leave this place, I die on E. I challenge you to do the same thing, you guys. Hello, everybody. It's Dr. Rick dropping in on you. Not going to be long. Look, you've heard me say this a million times. If you don't have at least 2 independent streams of income through which you hedge your primary source of income to protect you against catastrophic loss in that area, you are missing an opportunity to ensure your long-term financial security. I have created the 7-day online business launch course, which is a formula I use to reestablish myself online. It works over and over again. I've used it over and over again. Now I'm challenging you to take advantage of it. Click the link, learn more about it, enroll, and let's get started.